Today we're going to work on another room box, and again I'm using our wooden stain on some unfinished wooden pieces I got from Etsy. I also got some bowls from Michael's that I'll stain at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead and start staining it, and it did absorb a lot of the stain because there's some little holes and the stain was going inside the piece, so it took a little bit extra time to dry. But the main thing I was focused on is not missing any spots. So I just kept going over them over and over again. And I tried to get all the nooks and crannies. Even if it was dripping inside of the piece, I just wanted to make sure it was fully covered. It's supposed to take only one coat of this brand. And it did. It just took a little bit to dry because it just kept dripping into the piece. Another issue you might have is, unlike real pieces that you stain, these have glue where they are assembled, and I would try to cover them, but the glue kind of repels the stain. Now I'm using a 3D printed item I got from Etsy, and again I coated it with gesso before I started working. I started with a base coat. I really like this color. This is going to be the color of the grout, so it's like a warm gray, and I'm just making sure I get every single crevice in this color, every single brick. It takes a little time to make sure you do that, but it's worth it. While I do this, Fred is also helping me by painting some books, some other 3D printed books I got from the same shop. So I could have gotten a finished fireplace, but it was a little bit more expensive, and also I kind of wanted to customize the colors to match my room box, so I did it myself. This is a chip brush. I got this from Michael's for like $2 for a pack of brushes, and the rough bristles on it make it look more like gritty or stone like texture. So I'm just putting some gray on it. I start with one color gray, but you'll notice I mix some black and some white into the pool of gray I have, so I can give it depth and different colors. So I'm applying some of the darker shade of gray to the inside where there should be some soot from the fire burning. Even if you clean a fireplace, I don't think it gets completely clean, so just to make it more real, we're going to add a little soot at the back part, and then from there we're going to brush on different shades, again to give it depth and make it look more realistic. And I love this chip brush. It's really cool. You just kind of blend it all together, and if you see that you have a little too much of one color, just use a lighter shade or darker shade, or just if you've made it too dark or too light in a patch, just take the base color and just come in and dab some of the base color to break up some of the tedium. The whole point is you don't want it to blend together. So now we're going to go ahead and add a marble top to this fireplace. I'm just getting a couple of warm tones. It looks like gold, and I'm going to paint a little bit of the top, and also there's a bottom portion of this that should be that warm golden color. And you can probably see the little books popping up with color. That's because Fred's helping me on the side. Now we're going to give Fred some more variety for his little books that he's painting for us. So I'm just mixing in streaks of color to try to make it look more like marble. And this is what we have. And when we seal it, we want to make the stone part look matte. And I want the top part, the marble part, to be shiny. So I'm going to use some matte sealant for the stone part, and I'm going to use some shiny sealant for the marble. This is some Miniverse sand. It was really dried out. That's probably why it was on clearance, but I was able to mix some resin in it and finally get it to seal. So I'm just filling some of the little flower pots up. I'm going to use it to make some little decorations. I'm just adding some resin on top of it to try to seal it in because it doesn't look like it's curing. Again, I wouldn't honestly recommend using the resin or the objects from the Miniverse. I just use my own resin, and look how beautiful this turned out. To assemble our room box, we're just using a handbag container. So they're really cheap. I got a few of them for like 20 bucks compared to an actual collector's container, which I know is not attainable by many people, and I think this is a great alternative. And if you don't want to use wood or do woodcraft, and these things are really easy to assemble, all you have to do is kind of clip them together. So I'm using a little tool I got from another dollhouse craft to flatten these wallpapers out, and I pop bubbles using a needle, and sometimes I actually use an X-Acto knife if I'm using it. So you'll see me popping the bubbles with whatever sharp object I can get. If you're young, please get an adult to help you do that. I love this wallpaper from the Dollar Tree because it is just so beautiful. It has different textures on it, and you can't get that locally at the craft store I have. So I'm just using this to make a little border. My husband thought this was a crazy color, but I just fell in love with this when I saw it at the Dollar Tree, and I decided to make it the background for my little room box. So when you're doing this, be careful, because once you put it down, you pretty much can't get it back up again. Ooh, that sounds bad. Once you put the wallpaper down, you can't undo it. So you just have to be very careful when you assemble it. And in case you're wondering why Fred has a few little scritches, we have 3 cats, so. This is the finished room box. We're gonna put a lid on it. So now I'm gonna take my fireplace, and this is how it turned out. It's beautiful. I love it so much. It looks so different. And I made it just for me. And here is another little 3D printed thing I got. And here's my finished stained bookshelf. So what I'm gonna do is try to plot where I wanna put it. It looked kind of weird here. Initially, I want the bookshelf to be on the main wall, but it just didn't look good. And we tried to fit the little bookshelves together, and it looked so bad. And then my husband decided, hey, why don't you just, rearrange everything, because it's not flowing right. I decided to just redo everything. So let's go ahead and glue it down with some glue dots. These are temporary glue dots, so it's just to keep it in place. So if I ever want to move this into a house or change the room box out, I can change it without damaging any of the wallpaper, and I can change it without damaging the paint on the item. This just keeps it in place so I can shift them around and move them around and, open them up and put my boo-boos in there. These I'm going to use for Labubus, because I just don't like the idea that they'll sit in a sterile container with no entertainment. But you can use these for any kind of dolls, any kind of display item. You can make a room box out of these handbag containers for anything that's small that'll fit in there. So it doesn't have to be for Labubus, but that's what I'm using it for. Now I'm just using glue dots to add my little books. They turned out so cute, even though the 3D printed, it looks like real books. I actually do have a few real books that I can add to them. I got from clearance from Michael's. After I get through gluing the grouping of 3D printed books, I'm going to go ahead and add some turnable books I got from Michael's to make it look realistic. I think it's cute they have like little words on the cover too. I know you can actually make these by hand, but I don't have that much time. I'm adding some little statues I got on Etsy from somebody who handcrafts things, and I'm adding a few little details, some little plants. I'm adding the little ottoman, and now our room box is complete. The only thing we're missing is some nice guests to enjoy this room box. Here's our luxurious room box for our Labubus, and they're very well dressed. I'm sure they're really enjoying this place. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.